So my name is Ali. Me and Raj kind of met at Microsoft, and we're interning there last summer. I just kind of want to start a podcast because I like talking. So yeah, Raj can give a better introduction himself.
Hi, my name is Raj. I interned with Ali during last summer. We are both working at Microsoft, and we just decided to start a fun podcast talking about tech life, being in computer science, and just about life and whatever comes to our mind in general. And this is like first episode of this podcast, so I will give it to Ali now.
Okay, now that we're free from the intro, I think I can start actually talking. Um, I guess this episode I'll ask Raj some questions just to see who this man is, what he's doing. Um,
Okay.
where do you want to start? Do you want to start up from the top? So where were you born, Raj?
Wow, that's a really interesting first question. So I guess I was like born in India and then my parents moved to Canada.
When did you move to Canada?
Uh, so I guess I moved to Canada in around like 2016. So I did like most of my high school here and then university here. So
You did most of your high school in the sorry, where?
I did most of my high school in like Toronto area.
Oh, okay. 2016. Later than that. Um,
Yeah,
do you feel like a culture shock when you moved here?
like some sort of culture shock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there was like a bit of culture shock when I moved in here. Like for at least like first few months, like 2 or 3 months, like the way that you behave in school and do stuff like that, like some smaller things that like quite noticeable. Like that sort of stuff, like how you interact with teachers or like just the way you study and like do stuff and like the school timings, they were kind of different. So yeah, it was a bit of culture shock, but like I had to do less work in school compared to India, so that was great. But yeah, it took me like few months to get used to it. But like I guess unlike other people, I guess I had a easier time here because my parents moved in here before me. So like I didn't have to like maybe like other children who moved in with their parents would have like a slightly different or more harder time. But for me it was like more smoothly, I guess, compared to other people. I'm not sure. But yeah, there was a culture shock, but it wasn't that bad as you expect.
Yeah, okay. Wait, why did your parents move?
Sorry?
Why did your parents move?
Oh, just for like a better opportunity. I guess that's like most people move from like India or other Asian country, like better opportunity for their children and like just like a better prospect. Like here's like less pollution and like just better quality of life in general.
Do you think you have better prospects here? Do you think you'd
So
be do you think are you happier being in Canada than if you were in India, do you think?
yeah, I guess probably I would say yes, because for like a lot of things that are like it's better to live in like somewhere like Canada and United States compared to like India, I guess. Like just like opportunities in general, but like small things like pollution and like just the way like it kind of like helps with, like if you're living in India, like pollution is kind of crazy. So like in terms of your like overall long-term health, like it's better to live in a country which is like where the air quality index is usually lower compared to other part of the world, that you have like better life expectancy, or like even in terms of like opportunities, it's better that it's easier to get a better opportunities here, and just like the quality of life in general is kind of like a bit better, I would say.
Do you hmm, are people in India more competitive than here?
Yeah, I think people in India are definitely more competitive, but I guess it comes down to like just like the game of numbers. Since there are like too many people and like too few opportunities, like when you have too much of like the population size and considering the opportunities that isn't just enough per person, so like you have to compete for it, and like it kind of gets ingrained in your mindset. I guess it's normal for like most students who like a first generation immigrants who come from like Asian country where like just the things are general and competitive, and like you learn from your environment or like learn from your parents, so like you kind of like expected to like try harder or like push
But do
harder,
you,
get good grades and stuff like that.
but is there like, is that just because like your parents were tryhards, or is everyone in India tryhard? I guess is the question.
Oh, I guess it's like most people. I guess you can't say like most people are try hard. Like you can't from like some sort of like a generalization around it, but like most people who like who come from the background, they're like they try hard because they think their parents spend too much resources on them, so they feel obligated to try hard. Does it make sense? It's kind of like if you're like a first generation immigrants, right? Your parents are doing so much for you, so you feel kind of obligated to don't waste your opportunity. So you tend to like try harder or like be more competitive in a way.
Interesting.
So
Interesting. But do you, hmm. 'Cause, like I wouldn't say most people in Canada are tryhards, you know?
yeah, but I guess it also depends on like where you grow up in, like even in India, like which part of society that you come from. Like if you're from like a higher upper class where you like you got everything you wanted kind of life, or like you have everything you wanted, then you will probably have access to more opportunities or like less pressure from your family. Then in that case, you probably won't try hard compared to like people who come from like a middle class or like upper middle class or lower class where like getting a good job is like the your way out of your moving to a next class, then you probably try hard because like you are more you because it's kind of like obvious that if you want like more comfortable like financial stability, like a better house, then you probably need like a good job, and that's what like your parents expected you to get, so like you move up to like a one more class. Then in this case you probably will try hard in general.
Gotcha. Do people actually move up classes very frequently in India?
I guess I don't have enough knowledge to probably give you like any sort of uh insightful answer, but I guess it seems that it's possible to like move up the classes, like at least from like my grandparents were like started as kind of like a lower middle class, but they're like throughout the year they worked hard and they kind of moved up a class by starting their own business. So like either if you like start your own business or like get a good job, or like if you come from like I've heard stories about like people coming from like poor families and their son getting a engineering degree or getting into like one of those highly ranked school and getting like a job at like a reputed tech company or something, and then it can help you to lift out of you like poverty or like move upper class of you.
It's interesting. Um, is there a lot of stress that comes with
Uh, I
living
guess
there?
I I guess I can answer that, like being a student in Canada versus being a student in India. I guess
Yeah.
on average, you will be it. I guess it would be more in terms of like studying. You will underbe, at least from my personal experience, like you'll be in more stress to perform better because like standardized like exams are like harder, or like they're like standardized tests, right? If you're preparing for like Canada doesn't have SAT, so we didn't have to like prepare for it, but like if you're in like a US high school, you have to prepare for SAT, which is like of course more stressful compared to like us like in high school. That we were stressed about like I think you were too, like about like grade 12 grades and like which university you're gonna get into, but like I guess it would be like a bit more stressful if it's like we had to do SAT and go through that entire thing, I guess. So I guess also
Yeah.
depends on person. Like if you're not a good test taker, then probably things like SAT and like will put you more stress onto it.
Gotcha. Wait, so did you do the Wait, so you're saying there's an SAT equivalent in India?
Yeah, I think there is a SAT equivalent in India for like depends if you want to do engineering or you want to go into like biological or like medical field, then you probably have to do the standardized exam. So which kind of harder. So like you have to prepare for it or like 2 years in your grade 11 and grade 12, like which puts you more in a pressure like compared to like in Canadian high school where things tend to be diversified, that you have like a or like a more well-rounded or like more balanced life, that you have better study life balance, I guess, in Canada.
But do you feel like it's simpler when like everything is just grades, if that makes sense? Like, did you feel like when you were in India, you just study and then you're done? Like you didn't have
I
to
mean,
think about much else.
yeah, I mean that's kind of that you spend your entire day either like going to school, study, like going to like for tutorials somewhere or like things like that. Like you spend like most of your student life on like I don't know because I didn't do much of high school in India, so I can't tell for sure. But from the stories that I heard, like a typical day would involve like waking up early, getting a breakfast, going to school, and then coming back, doing the homework, and going like for other study stuff, which will take up like your entire day for on most working days, and then you probably have like some time to relax or do something like play video games on like during the weekends and stuff like that. But I guess it depends from like school to school or like even depends on like which class you are or like or where you live in India. But I guess yeah, generally like it's usually like I guess I heard that if you're in like grade 11 and grade 12, like most of your time just goes toward like studying in general.
Interesting. Do you feel the need to maintain your grades all the time?
Oh, so I kind of had that problem when I was like in high school or like even like first year of university, where I felt like that I need to maintain high grades for like for like go for like grade 11 and grade 12 in high school. It's kind of obvious that you need to maintain a high grade to like get into like University of Toronto or like University of Waterloo or like uh one of those like tech schools that you need like 94, 96 to get into like UFT engineering or UFT CS and that sort of stuff. So I guess I try to maintain high grade in high school, but after like first year of university, I realized that it doesn't matter that much to maintain high grades.
And what did you
And
focus on? What matters?
so that I realized that grades are like diminishing returns, like the effort that you put in to get into 80s versus 90s, like exponential. Like if you study for 4 hours, like you will like 3 hours a day, you will get I can get like and if you study 8 hours, like the grades that you get, they don't only differ by like 5 or 6 points, and then that like studying has a diminishing returns after a while. So instead of spending that time and like studying, like I'm trying to like just like be more social or do something else, like play video game or like try to maintain some sort of a healthy balance. I don't want to like study for my entire day, which kind of like it feels good, but like over the term, it causes you burnout at the end. And like I had a few burnouts in my life in university, and it's kind of like really bad. So like I try to avoid like burnouts, so I don't focus too much on studying. Like at the end of like when like things were during pandemic, like my like first year, my grades were like really good. In pandemic, first 4 months, like things were online, so like my grade also got like a bit boost because like we didn't have online exams and stuff like that. But like throughout the middle in pandemic, I guess like I realized that I had like a just kind of like a breakdown and a burnout, so like which threw me off, and like I was struggling to even study. So like I realized like value of like making friends and like just being out in general or having like other hobbies is kind of important for your mental health.
What do you think caused burnout?
I think for me, the thing that was causing the burnout was just that my life was being like repetitive, especially during the COVID, that I will wake up, attend Zoom lecture, attend classes, do my assignments and then sleep and then over and over again for 4 months. Like I can't go out much, so I was like stuck in my room for like a better part of the day. So like being in the same environment and doing the same stuff over and over, like your brain kind of, I guess at least my brain kind of hates. I realized that I don't like being like repetitiveness in life, so which caused me a burnout. And I think there's like other stuff also going on that I realized that just having a high grades and stuff like that doesn't help you much with like getting internships and stuff like that. And like you need to be more social or like being social is I was like in my first year I was like mostly introverted person who like barely joined any clubs or did anything. I was like that robotic kid who wakes up, goes to 8:30 classes, attends every lectures, does every homeworks, and like finishes every assignment, and kind of like that sort of students who like kept his grade high. And like so my entire day was going into like just study related stuff, and I didn't get much time to like socialize with people, like go to parties or like expand my social circle beyond like 5 or 10 people that I knew. So, but I didn't realize that until like the pandemic hit, and I realized that I don't have that pick up the social circle that I wanted to like go out and do stuff with, which kind of like because during the pandemic, like I felt like a bit of socially isolated, which kind of caused me burnout and just doing like starting over and over again. So yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. Why do you do this? Why do you do what you do?
To get out of the burnout.
No. Just in general. Why do you study? Why do you get good internships? Why do anything?
Oh, I guess at least like why to study. I guess it's like oh we are like part of our environment, the way I grew up and like the environment that I was born in. Like I was expected to like work hard, like a standard stuff, get into good university, get a good job, get a good life, and then the entire normal stuff. So like I was expected to it, and I was kind of like blindly following it for a while. So like, hey, I need to get into good university so like I can get a good job, get into like one of those banks and like make good amount of money, and then I will have like a better, more comfortable life towards the end. It's like you try to postpone your happiness. Hey, like it's just I'm gonna work hard, get a good grades in high school so I can get into a good university. Then I'm gonna chill. And then when you go to university, it's like, yo, I need to work hard, get good grades, get good
Yeah.
internship. Then I'm gonna so like so you just keep postponing your happiness and like sacrificing the time that you have now for like the future prospect of your happiness. It's like you try to maximize your happiness in the future, and then and doing so you try to like focus on the things. Like you don't live in a moment, you kind of become like a, a machine which just try to optimize grades, try to optimize better job opportunities and stuff like that. And then you don't become like you try to focus towards the one thing, then you just don't have any sort of balance in your life. And once you realize that, and to figure out that you are in an imbalance, take like some sort of like external influence or like just a bunch of things going in your life getting wrong like bit by bit. And then you figure out that you have dug yourself in that hole where your entire like day goes into like studying or just like you are focusing on only one aspect of your life. And then your life is kind of imbalanced. And then you have that bit of realization, and then you try to recover from it.
Do you think do you think that's just like societal influence, or is there actually like does balance actually matter? I don't know how to explain this, but like people like Sam Altman or whatever, like all they
Yeah.
did, like John Carmack, like all they did was work
Yeah,
from like the young age, and it
but
kind of worked
okay,
out eventually. But
yeah, but there is a difference between the work that you like and the so there are like some things that you are good at, but you don't really care about if you are passionate about it. I guess there is a difference between being a passionate about something and being good at something. that you can be like good at CS and passionate at CS, and they're like two different things that most people tend to like. That's I realize I'm good at like a few things, but I'm not really deep down. I'm not passionate about them.
Did you used to
That
be passionate? Do you think?
I, I guess I used to be
Did your passion
passionate
die?
about. Sorry.
Did your passion die over time?
I guess it depends. It's kind of like if I feel like if I'm doing the same thing again and again, my passion eventually dies. I feel like I'm sort of person who cannot do one thing for his entire life. I need to jump around and like try to add like a different flavors or like different adventures in my life to for me to happy. If I do the same stuff again and again, I will probably feel like I'm not doing it right. So initially, like for CS, right? Like if I kind of need break from CS or like programming and stuff like that from once in a while. I know that I'm good at it and I'm somewhat passionate about certain areas of it, but if I go too deep into it or just like devote my entire life towards the one thing, then I won't be happy. That I need uh different things in my life. That I'm like passionate about certain things, but I cannot devote 100% of my life to one thing. And if I do that, I think I won't be happy. Like I need diversity. I need to diversify to be happy. Or like I don't like doing, like following like one single goal or like being focused towards only one thing.
Like you don't want to be like Sam Altman, people like that?
I guess the
Um,
reason that I don't want to be Sam Altman is like I don't see myself dedicating my life to one thing. It's like I don't want to be, but like if the time comes, but like at least this point in time, I feel like I need to be first become like a well-rounded person and just deal with my own problems first and like establish a base so I can be someone like Sam Altman.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Interesting. Do you think most people have Waterloo are like you? Or no?
Uh, I guess
University.
yeah.
Yeah.
So those of you don't know, I go to the University of Waterloo. So I guess I can say that I have met some people like, do you mean people in like computer science or engineering in general?
Sorry, what? Repeat.
Do you mean like people in computer science and engineering in general?
Uh, yeah, people in competitive program. Yeah, computer science engineering.
Yeah, I guess I have met a few people who just wants like a simple life. Like they just want to graduate, get like a good, comfy, like a tech job, and then just focus on the other aspect of life, like travel around the world and like see different things, or like focus on their other hobbies. Like they're in the tech because it kind of gives you like a financial stability and allows you to do things like travel, go around the world, and like just have like a financial stability and while exploring your other interests. So, and some people just want like a simple life, and there is like nothing wrong with that. That simple life is kind of fun. That you don't like people just. I don't want to be Sam Altman or something like that. I just want like a simple life. I just want to retire early and like start my own cafe, for example.
What
So
percentage of Waterloo is like uh, immigrants? I guess is the question.
like what percent of Waterloo is? Uh,
Yeah, what percentage of
what,
Waterloo CS is immigrants?
like immigrants?
Yeah,
Uh, I I don't think I have the exact stats. So like, at least from my experience, it's pretty hard to tell. I guess I would say like I don't want to give like about I don't know, like 10% to 20%. I might be like totally off in either direction.
sorry, what? Repeat.
Like 10% of Waterloo CS students are like international students.
10% are international students. Okay, so not that many.
Oh, that's from my personal experience. It might be like a really high number or like really low, like 20, 30%. But like every 1 in 10 people, or like 1 in 9 people I meet are like international students, just from mine. So it
Oh
can
wait,
be
okay,
higher.
gotcha. So are most people domestic? Interesting. But are they like immigrant domestic, or are they like, I don't know. I guess like
Or
most people in
like
Canada are,
first generation immigrants, or
yeah,
like
first generation immigrants.
mm, it's pretty much hard to tell that if you don't ask them question. But I would say like at least like they're like it's a quite of there are like a lot of first generation immigrant students.
Interesting. Interesting.
I would say they're like visible. Yeah, because I don't usually ask people like when it comes up, but like I know a lot of people, like at least like 30 to 40% of my group, like the people that I know are like first generation immigrants. But it can also be like some sort of bias that I tend to hang out with a certain group of people who are have the same characteristics or something.
Very interesting. Um, hmm. I don't want to. I don't want to go too off topic. Let's figure out a topic which would be easier. Do you think? How much do you compare yourself to other people?
Oh, that's a really good question. If I'm being honest, I do compare myself with other people like from time to time. And I guess I used to do it too much, if I'm being honest. And like, but nowadays I try to not like actively compare myself other, or like don't define my progress by like how other people are around doing it. But I guess if you are in like a competitive field, or like especially if you go to university, it's hard for you to like not compare yourself with your peers when you heard about the people getting into like a greater internship, or like just in general that I guess people say comparison is thief of joy. It's kind of right that I tend to compare myself from time to time. Like I'm like aware of it, and I'm like super toxic. Like in first year, I was too much about it, but now I'm trying to be like actively like focus on my well-being and mental health first, and like not try to like uh ruin what I have from like comparing myself with others. So like, but I guess it's a totally. I feel like it's like a natural thing to do, that compare yourself with others. So like grass is always greener on the other side. That even if you like at like a top, even if you get like a good internship, there are certain people who are gonna be have like your the dream job that you wanted. Is like the race never stops. There's always like someone ahead of, and like in a way, I guess it's not a race at all, but like you think there's someone who is like ahead of you in terms of like certain aspect of life, like career and other stuff. So like it's kind of enticing to like just compare yourself that you are nothing, but like it also for some reason can be like motivating to like if you compare yourself from time to time to like it can also motivate you to like break out of your comfort zone, or like switch jobs or try hard, because at like
Do you
certain point in
feel? Wait, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, yeah, because at certain point in life, right? If you're stuck in your job for like 10 years, like and then it's kind of like at least I for now consider that if you unless you have other reasons like family, but if you work in the same job in like a tech field for like 5 or 6 years, then if you compare yourself with your other peer who has switched jobs, then it might motivate you like to break out of your comfort zone, prepare for interviews, and like switch jobs so you have a better experience. But like it's kind of really fine grained scenario, like really right. But like in general, like it's important to like not like I guess there should be like an objective way of looking towards it. That at least when I compare myself to others, I realize that what they did differently than me to get to the position that they are now compared to me And I guess in some cases, people are just like naturally smart or uh, just like some people are just good test taker. Like some people have to study 6 hours to grasp the same subject, while some people have to can get it done in like 2 hours. And it's just that some people are just really good at like, for example, lead coding or certain aspect of like interviewing that they get it's easier for them to like previous experience or connection and like stuff like that. There are like some certain things that you can control, but there's certain things that they're like out of your control. But like if you compare yourself with others deeply and realize that you can learn something from them, like the way they approach the way they got where they are now, and just like ask them for advice, and it might be a helpful way to do it.
Are you ever scared of losing everything?
Yeah, I guess I'm scared of like yeah, I think yeah, I'm like always scared of losing everything. Like, do you mean in terms of like or losing what in general though?
What? Repeat, sorry.
Like in terms of like losing what? Can you go in like more detail, like losing everything, you mean like some sort of
Like
scenario?
like in like a doom scenario where like CS is like less needed in the world, I guess. Like we're kind of in a recession right now. What if like we never
Yeah,
bounce back?
I guess for things that they're going now, like I guess like losing everything is like a comfy job, like a future opportunity, right?
No, I mean, yeah, but like imagine like
Like the salaries are not
Microsoft realized they need less employees
yeah.
and everyone's like, yeah, just like just like CS as a like become like coal miners, I guess, you know.
It's not as high paying and
It's not
comfortable
as high
that
demand, high paying, yeah.
yeah, like the way the tax salary work nowadays. So like yeah. So kind of like instead of making like more than like 100K or like 6, 7 figures around that range, like that more money you make like in like 70, 80K, right? That's what you mean, like around like a normal non-tech jobs. Because
Yeah. Or like even worse, like what if you just make like 30K or something? Like 50K,
um
30K.
yeah, that would be like if I guess that's the really scary though. I
But do you
mean
think
I
you can
get
pivot? Do you think you can pivot to another career? What would you pivot to?
oh, so if I pivot to other career, like I was originally in like physics, so I might as well just go back to doing that. Because the
For
reason I was originally a physics math major, the
physics
reason I
section?
switched to tech was for like no, I'm gonna be honest, I just switched into tech because physics is really hard, and it's really hard to get a PhD and get a research, and like your chances are really really low even if you work really really hard. And there's like I can see myself like after getting a degree, doing masters, doing PhD, spend the next decade of my life and then probably failing, like the chances of success are really low. And even if you success, it's hard to find a job in the field that you like, how to become like a professor or like do a research that you like. And then you have to make a lot of compromise. So the reason that I switch into tech is like just the tech lifestyle. And like I'm good at CS, I'm good at physics, but yeah, the reason I switch into tech is like the lifestyle benefits that you don't have to study that much compared to like if you want to become a doctor or get a PhD that you can with a undergraduate degree you can earn like a really comfortable living, and it can allow you to have like a depends on what you do have like a good balance in life and like uh just have like a comfortable life in general. And it's I also like programming, that the way I like physics, that it's always fun to like problem solve, that you are constantly learning and growing. So like computer science is the type of field that you get like a bit of adventure, that in terms of you have a financial stability, you can explore like other parts of the life that some people might not be able to, like if you lose your job, like a tech job, then you have like some sort of money to cushion yourself for like a year or so, like, or you can go to like you can do travel or like follow other expensive hobbies. So and like also that you learn and just stuff like that. So like CS was like a soft spot for me, and like the reason that I switched into CS was like a mixture of like good work-life balance and doing like something that involves problem solving and like constantly learning and growing. So, but I guess if that other part was not in, I guess it would be a bummer. But I would probably I just stay with CS because it's still kind of fun to do stuff. But I guess I would be more picky towards what
Do you never
area of
get
CS. Sorry.
do you never get tired of the constantly growing part of it?
I mean, you need to take break from time to time, like in first year, I used to do like a lot of like side projects, but
Yeah.
nowadays I don't do them anymore. But I try to do like other part of it. I guess once I go full time, probably, and like kind of like readjust into full time life, then I'll probably go back to like doing like contributing to like some open source project and doing stuff that I like. So like I guess it's just the time that like I'm doing CS in school right now. Like I have like 3 CS assignments due every week, and like after that, like the last thing that I wanna do is like work on a project. I need to do something else to like balance my life. So if it wasn't for either if the things go down, I would either stay in CS, uh, move to physics, or just speedrun my and just start my own cafe, like my retirement plan.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Makes a lot of sense. Um, hmm. Do you think now you're in your last year of Waterloo? Do you think part of it was worth it?
Uh, so if I had a do-over, I won't go to Waterloo.
Where would you go?
Probably UFT.
But why do you think grass is greener on this side?
Sorry.
Why do you
Why
think the
did
grass is greener?
grass is green. I mean, it's always the case, but I guess the UFT St. John's has like a beautiful campus, and there are just like many people, or like just in
The
general, like
CS
the
building is pretty generic, I'll be honest.
yeah, no, but like just like living in a downtown Toronto versus living in Waterloo is like a different experience. So like just for the environment, like I'll probably enjoy living more in downtown Toronto compared to Waterloo. No, I mean
Interesting,
I guess
interesting.
it won't change much things, I feel like, because I will make the same mistake no matter where am I. But I guess just from like that point of view, it would be better, I guess.
Interesting. Uh,
No, but if I have, I guess, yeah, it won't be like that much, I guess. But like I guess it won't make a much a difference. But like if I had a do-over, I would probably start with UFT. But like I realized that in the end, it doesn't make too much difference. For like it depends on who you are and like how you utilize the resources that you have. Like you went to UFT, I went to Waterloo. We both ended up working at we at Microsoft, for example. So in terms of like opportunities that if you utilize the resources that you have, like maximize it, then it probably won't matter much that where you end up, which university you go to. At least especially nowadays, since last few years, like I feel like Waterloo is kind of losing their edge in their what was the co-op program was. It's not as great that it used to be that now you can go to like any other university and still ended up with like the same opportunities that I think previously like 5 or 6 years ago, that might have been the case that you have like a exclusive job posting if you go to Waterloo, like access to it. But nowadays, like most tech companies are like hiring for all universities. So Waterloo doesn't have that many exclusive jobs that they uh used to have. So I guess it in terms of like internship opportunities, it won't matter that much, I guess. I think the thing that matters for internship opportunities is like the uh who you meet and like a connection you make and like with sort of your friends and what they are doing and like how you approach things and how you how you utilize the resources that you have. And if you know those before, like at the start of the university, then you probably have a better chance getting a good internship, no matter the university.
Got it. Interesting.
So yeah, so for me, it will just boil down the question to that if I had a do-over, then it will just mostly boil down to the environment or like where am I living and that sort of stuff. And like just in general, like there is so much to do in like downtown Toronto compared to like Waterloo. And that you have a chance to meet like more people, I guess, because UFT is big and there are like different faculties. Even in terms of like the courses, they have more option compared to Waterloo. If you wanna take certain niche courses or like do that sort of stuff, UFT CS has kind of like more interesting courses that I wish I could take. Because I know that I have a friend from UFT and they usually talk about their courses. I wish that I had Waterloo, but I guess so things like that. I guess if I had a do-over, like I would probably slightly pick UFT. And also UFT tuition is kind of less compared to Waterloo and more scholarship money.
I don't want to, and I can talk about UFT for a bit, but I don't want to, it's not my
Yeah,
thing, so
yeah,
get on my side. Oh,
yeah.
interesting. Um, what's the best advice you can give your younger self?
Ah, like the best advice, like at which younger self, the one in high school or one in
Sorry?
like at which younger self, like
Oh,
one in high
right
school.
before you got into university, right before you went to university, I guess.
Okay. I would say that don't worry too much about grades. Try to make friends and try to like be more out, like get out of the social circle, try to form new hobbies or like get out of your comfort zone. Don't make your life a routine where you just study and do nothing. Like and just like try to explore yourself because university is like the first year is a really important part of your life to like form a bigger social circle, try to do things that you like, just get off your comfort zone, learn new things. Like, hey, like the advice that I would give is like, don't study too much, go to parties, make friends, join some club, and try to enjoy yourself more. Because in the end,
Oh,
it won't matter that
okay.
much.
It's good advice, don't know. Hmm. Um, what advice do you think you'd like in the future you'd give to your current self? This is a weird question, but
Oh, that's a really good question.
what do you think you're gonna mess up? It's a weird.
Like, if a future step show up and like give me advice right now, what advice it would be?
Yeah,
Uh, that's a really interesting question.
I guess it's like I'm indirectly asking you, what do
Yeah.
you think you should do?
Make better use of your time and try to structure your life more correctly and like try to from like uh like stop wasting your time too much and like try to find like a structure in your life and in a way like start going to gym stuff like that. I think that was my future self would tell me that you should start going to gym early and like try to like make a good use of your time because once you start like a full-time job, then you probably be like will go into a cycle. So like the next 6 months of your life would be like one of those most like the time of your life that you might never have. So try to make most of it. Try to form meaningful hobbies or like try to discover yourself.
Gotcha. Are you much of a traveler? Did you travel? Like travel?
Uh, yeah, I like traveling, but I guess probably not alone. Like I like traveling with people or like at least like one or two people. I guess that's my thing that I think I don't enjoy traveling alone, but I might just try it out for the fun of it. But it's fun to like see new places, experience new cultures, or like uh, go to new cafes and just learn about like different cultures in general, like meet and talk to strangers and just like see things. Like I like hiking, like seeing beautiful views and like learning about the history or like historical artifacts, going to museums, kind of nice.
Nice. Hmm. What do you think is it? Is it ever enough? It's never enough.
Yeah, I think nothing is never enough, at least for me right now. I feel like nothing is ever enough.
Is it that is life more about the journey than the destination? No matter what the
Uh,
destination is, it doesn't actually help.
I guess my destination always changes.
That's true. That's true as
I
well.
guess at
Do
least
you
for
feel like
now. Oh yeah, sorry, go ahead.
sorry, I was gonna say, do you feel like a lot of your life was, I don't actually know how to ask this question, but do you feel like there's a lot of color in your life? Does that make sense? Or is it
Like,
monotone?
oh, like, is it like adventure, monotone?
Like when you think back, do you think back of, because you never remember the moments where you're just like studying, right?
Uh,
Uh,
your voice was cutting. Could you repeat that?
so do you do you regret? Because I mean, you said you'd prefer if you had a social, more of a social life in first year, right?
Yeah,
So how do you remember first year? Do you just remember yourself studying all the time? Do you
I, I,
remember?
I guess I feel like when I think about first year, it's more like a blip that I don't remember much at all. The only things I remember is like waking up, being in like just off like a repetitive cycle of just like I don't know, I don't even remember. It's just going to lectures, coming back, and then going into my room, and then just uh do my homework and like do assignments, submit them, then go to sleep, and then repeat, and like and on weekends just like going back to Toronto or something, and then just doing the same thing, then coming back and just stuff over and over again.
Interesting. But why do you think you don't remember? Because I think you probably remember Seattle very vividly, right?
Yeah,
Maybe because it just happened, but because you did a bunch of new stuff. That makes
yeah,
sense as
yeah.
well. But do you think
No,
if you, sorry, but
yeah, I guess I think the reason that I don't remember first year very vividly, I guess what makes memories are not you, but like the people around you. And in the first year, I feel like I had a few good memories with a few people, but there weren't many. So I guess the people make your life colorful, and the things that you do that make your life colorful, not you alone. Like you can have a great experience, but I guess if you have for me, at least have a great experience with someone else, it would be more colorful.
interesting. But I'm sure there's times with people that you remember. Hmm.
Yeah, I really remember vividly, like after like one final exam, me and my friends went to like for ice cream or something after midterms. I remember like studying overnight with someone else, or like doing the assignment with few people in library, or like just hanging out on weekends, or like a few pizza party, or like watching like movies with my like like floor mats and that sort of stuff. I do remember those memories, but I guess they are not intense as the memories that I have in like, for example, Seattle or like few years ago.
Interesting. It's very interesting. Do you think, but you still like remember how to do calculus, right? That makes sense, even if it's
Sorry,
not
how
actually
to?
like even if it's not a vivid memory, do you like you can still probably do calculus if you had to, right?
Yeah, I can do calculus. I just probably need to look at the. I just need like a bit of refresher, but yeah.
Bit of a refresher. Okay, interesting. Interesting how our brains work anyway. Um, how do you think the pandemic affected your school life and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think pandemic was the reason. I guess one good thing, at least for me, that came out of it, that I realized that I need to be like a more well-rounded person and try new different things. And I guess that's the reason that I cherish the memory more. The memories that I made after pandemic, I cherish them more compared to before it. And I try to be like more social and stuff in general. Like I guess pandemic changed my priority or like perspective on life. And I guess that's the reason that I guess you can say my first year memories were like kind of bleak compared to like last few years. But I guess yeah, I guess pandemic was like a roller coaster for me. Like I started off, it was kind of like a normal, right? Like all of my first like during pandemic, like all of my internships were also online. So for me, like I don't have very like the only thing that I remember is that most days if I'm on like an internship term, I will wake up, work 9 to 5, like do stuff, and then afterwards, like I was taking a few courses on side and stuff like that. Just most days, I like go watch Netflix and like spend a lot of time in my rooms. Don't go out much because like everything was kind of closed and every people were far away. So my memories mostly involve like studying and like playing games with my friends online, that sort of stuff, and just like going through like a phase of like having like a mental breakdown and like a burnout, and then try to recover from it. Like like at one point I just used to sleep for like 12, 14 hours a day, barely wake up late, sleep late, and like most days just like eat, watch Netflix, and like barely study. So like it's kind of like all over the place. And then like there was like a one phase where like I was like down, and then I started recovering from it. Like I started like reading books, or like just try to be like find like a different outlet, or try to like diversify my hobbies. Like I got into chess, started learning like a bit of chess theory, and like start watching chess videos and stuff like that, and then focus on like learning chess. And then I start like reading stuff which kind of helped me, or like try to become like do like a more balanced indoor hobby. Like I learned like how to bake and that sort of stuff, which kind of helped me go through it and like kind of like diversify my life. So I wasn't just like studying and watching Netflix, like and just like alternating between them and like sleeping. So like trying to add like a bit of like newness, or like bit of different things in my life kind of helped me.
Why didn't you do more like social hobbies? That makes sense.
Yeah, I guess the reason was that like I wasn't a social person, or like I want to do social hobby, but I need to find someone that to do it. I'm like super like less motivated if I'm like doing it alone. And at that point, like most of my friends were like not in like the area that where I lived. So it was kind of like hard for me to find people to do stuff with, if that makes sense.
But most of your friends were what?
Like most of my friends were like either in Waterloo or like in downtown Toronto, or like and I was like kind of in like I don't know, Brampton or somewhere. So like so things were like kind of harder for me to like find people on like a regular basis, I would say, to do stuff with.
But do you? I mean, like social hobbies and like sports or like I don't know, like badminton or something.
Yeah, I guess I was like not much, and I was not much into the sports at that point, not gonna lie. And I'm still not into it. But like I guess yeah, the only like games that like yeah, I used to play like video games with my friends, like like that sort of stuff, like every Friday night or something, and
That's
relax.
interesting.
Yeah. At one point, I think I also went through like a lead code grind phase where I just used to do lead code to try to improve myself, which kind of helped me for it was like for a few months in like January of like 2021, 2021, I think. But it was like when I was on internships, so what I used to do is like it was like one of those hard internships where I used to work for like 8 hours, actually work 8 hours a day. So wake up, work until like 5:36 ish, and then like try to cook something, and then just like or like lead code with my friends or like play games and stuff like that. So I was also went through that phase where I was like super motivated to like get out of my current situation.
Gotcha. Very interesting. We're about to run out of time. I don't know. Is there anything you want to talk about that I didn't ask?
I guess nothing actually comes to my mind. I guess in the next few episodes we can talk about like tech life or those sort of things in general, which might be more interesting to people.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I guess
Uh,
it's enough, right? It's enough
uh,
content for
sorry.
hopefully that's enough content for the first episode. We can make some
Yeah.
really
Yeah, I
cool.
feel like it should be enough, like 45 minutes at
Yeah,
least.
cut it a bit, but
Yeah.
it'll be fine. So, lots to think about. Lot to
We,
think about.
yeah. Do you want to end the podcast?
Yeah, we can end it now.
Yeah.
I don't know how to end it, but
Do you want to
thank
say
you,
to some parting words? Yeah, like that's it. And like, thanks for joining or something.
yeah, I guess thank you everyone for watching, for listening. Really appreciate it. Uh, we'll hopefully post more episodes. We will post more episodes.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, we really appreciate your feedback on what should we focus on, I
yeah,
guess.
let us know.
Yeah.
Also, let
What do
us
you
know
want
if you
to,
want to come on the podcast and stuff like that.
yeah,
Well, depending on actually, like, might have to cut that
yeah,
depending on where,
yeah,
where we put this
yeah,
podcast. But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
let us know if you.
Mm. If you want us to discuss any particular topic or if you want
Yeah,
to know more.
let us know any feedback. Yeah, if you want, give
Yeah,
us topic videos, anything else you want to talk about. Yeah,
yeah,
and do.
yeah. See ya.
Bye.